wide and empty space of rural Argentina. The grassy plains of the Pampas are Argentina's most underpopulated region. The Pampas span an area nearly the size of France. Marcela Benitez travels thousands of kilometers each month to work on her projects. She's trying to save Argentinian villages that are threatened with extinction. Villages like Irazusta. The railway station has shut its doors, and the inhabitants of the village are now cut off from the rest of Argentina. When Marcela Benitez first arrived here, some of the locals initially resisted her efforts.
La primera experiencia fue muy difícil porque llegamos a fines de
1999 con el deseo. When we first came here in late 1998 and offered our support, the local residents were suspicious, especially because we came from Buenos Aires, which is huge compared to this tiny village. Most people here had a hard time trusting us because we were from the city.
But the sociologist stayed on and patiently won the trust of the local villagers. And she learned some interesting facts on the way. For example, that chickens like tango music. There's nothing romantic about life in the village. The days are filled with strenuous work, economic hardship, and little hope for improvement. To address these problems, Benitez founded Responde. The organization advises the farmers and tries to help them find new sources of income, like tourism.
Cuando un turista viene a estos pueblos, lo más interesante para ellos
The tourists who visit the villages are intrigued by the idea of spending time living like the locals do.
Entonces, el que puedan hacer una actividad así,
they can help with the cooking. They can learn something. It's new and exciting for them. It's very different from the way they cook in the city.
Normalmente pueden hacer en una gran ciudad.
Benitez hopes to make it possible for young people to stay in the village. If all the young people leave, then the old will be left behind. Irazusta and other isolated villages in Argentina have been slowly dying out. Jorge has lived here his entire life and tends cattle.
Nothing has changed here. I'm 68 years old now, old enough to retire.
The villagers are resilient and tenacious, and are eager to convert Marcela's support into action. This woman has set up a guest room. An overnight stay with breakfast costs about €3. She's already had a few guests, she says. Marcela Benitez knows that these small steps can make a big difference in the survival of the village. And the efforts seem to be paying off. The small church has been refurbished and is now a centerpiece of the village. Helping the locals to help themselves is a winning strategy. Several dozen tourists have already visited the village in the past few months, braving the 6-hour trip from Buenos Aires to get a taste of traditional life in Argentina, as it was in times past.